sounds like you were just always very, very confident and you always had this self belief. Did you work to artificially create it, or did it just come from experiences and words from the coaching staff?
I think confidence, for me at least, stems from preparation. You know, the work you put in. Um, I think Jeter said like the thing he hates most is not feeling prepared. You know, that's because that's where your confidence comes from. You know, baseball is one of the biggest sports. You know, I think that confidence goes a really long way. I mean, confidence goes a long way in anything,
Mm-hmm.
out of sports too. But um, when you're in the box and you don't have full confidence, like you're in trouble. Um, I think I've been really good at visualization kind of my whole life. Um, I mean, I would coming into college, I would look up where the field is for the D3 World Series just so I can see myself playing on that field and see us, winning getting the last out and dogpiling. I visualize that stuff all the time. Um, Even as a freshman, not knowing if I was going to play or not, I was already visualizing that stuff. Playing on Kelly Field, that stuff. I feel like if you don't see yourself doing it first, you can't really expect to do it in real life. I think
Right.
if you're not, no one's ever done something that they didn't think they could do. And I think visualization just kind of helps aid you in kind of believing that you can do something. Um, but I think confidence, man, it's about that work. You put in the work and it's work when no one's looking. That's
Yeah.
huge. I think that's when you can really separate yourself because then you're gonna really want to get those results to show people what you have been doing.
Right. I completely agree. And I think one thing that you always hear in sports when you're a younger kid, and Yogi Berra said this, he said the game of baseball is 90% mental and 10% physical. I never, ever really understood that when I played baseball. Like, it's my 20 years of playing baseball. I never understood that statement. I only understand it today. How, like, does everybody in a big league locker room adopt that phrase, and are they fully behind it? And, like, just how does that fit in with you and everybody else in the bigs?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the more I've had the opportunity to hear big leaguers talk about the mental side of the game, because, like you said, it's a very big part. They go as far to say it's 100% mental because um, I think especially at the level I'm at now, um, because growing up, there's different levels of skill, right? Like some guys are just more talented than others. You're in the big leagues, everyone's good, everyone's really good. So what kind of separates the good guys from the greats and the all stars and the guys who play for 10 plus years is between the ears. It's between it's in your head because everything from your discipline with the way you recover, diet, prepare for the games, to how you feel in the batter's box, on the bases, in the field. You know, I think that once I kind of realized how big the mental side of the game was, I understood how I felt playing Division 3 baseball. I felt really good playing Division 3 baseball. I felt like I was the best player on the field every single game.
Mm-hmm.
How do I take that mindset and now shift it to feeling like that in pro ball? And each level I go up, oh, I'm in Double A now. These guys are better. I don't know if I belong. It's like no, I have to have that same mindset that I had playing Division 3 baseball in the big leagues. Like I have to have it because um, the best thing you can kind of do is just free yourself up, and that's all it does. Is you have that confidence and that um, presence of mind to be in the right headspace. It just frees you up, and I think that's the biggest thing.
Well, I think confidence, though, like confidence built over, I think a couple things. One of them is like small wins. You get little wins and that builds you up. I think self confidence also comes from you are the person you say you are, meaning preparation. But if you're trying to transfer this feeling that you felt in college to now the big leagues, is it like a fake it till I make it? Or what are you actively doing to get that self confidence?
I think you kind of hit it on the nail with the small wins. Um, it's just at a certain point, I think it was kind of fake it till I make it at a certain point in my pro career when I wasn't really playing well and I realized that I didn't have a lot of confidence
Yeah.
and I had to make that switch or else I saw like kind of the end of the road pretty quick. In single A when I was kind of going through it. But then you kind of learn to take those small wins, like you said, and I've kind of it's funny because I think that switch in the mindset honestly came before the wins. Like I had to really adopt that mindset before I really did anything in pro ball. I
Yeah.
kind of struggled through single A, was going through it in my head, like not in a good spot really. Kind of saw, like I said, I kind of saw the end of the road pretty close. I was losing playing time. I got benched for the playoffs. Like wasn't what you wanted. I didn't end my first season how most guys usually want to end their first season. Um, so I kind of went back home and I said to myself, I didn't have a great year, but I did enough good things to where I had enough small wins throughout the year to where I could kind of feed off of it and take that going into the off season. But I knew I had to work harder than I ever did. So I had 5 months, which is a really long time to really get after it. And I did. I worked as hard as I could have. That would have been off season of 2022.
Yeah.
Going into that off season, I just told myself I have to work. I have to outwork everyone if I want to even have a shot. And then I end up getting traded to the Yankees in December, which came out of nowhere. Didn't in my mind, I didn't do enough to warrant any other team to want me or even know my name. So that was kind of a pleasant surprise, kind of a nice, refreshing restart. Um, but yeah, going into 2023 with the Yankees, I had that, I finally kind of had that confidence, that mindset switch, and they helped me a lot with that too. Their hitting coordinators and fielding coordinators, were talking with me right after the trade and kind of told me like, hey, you do these things really well. Like I said, I did some good things that first season. Overall, I feel like I underperformed, but they at least saw the good things that I was doing and kind of told me that, hey, like these things that you need to work on, like we're good at helping guys with that. Like if you just improve in this area, which for me was, quality of contact. Like I still had really good bat to ball in,
Mhm.
right when I got to pro ball, but had a lot of things to work on with my swing and, how I was actually hitting the ball when I was hitting it. Um, and I mean, they gave me a lot of confidence too. So that went a long way. The work I put in the off season went a long way. And then once I started to actually get the success that did separate me from others, then you kind of get this snowball effect to where you're kind of rolling.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Somewhere on the screen should direct you to somewhere else in our channel. But as always, believe foolishly.